Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers and welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us, one growing big family. Thank you for your beautiful comments and all your love. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. I would like to mention, if the video is too fast for you, up top there's 3 little buttons on the right hand corner for most of you, or in your settings. And you can slow down the video to the speed you like. You can also turn the closed caption on, which is the CC next to the 3 little dots. If you don't know how to do it, in the link below in the description box, there's a little link that you can click on there, and I show you how to do that. It's a 2-minute video. Also, would like to mention that I do have a crochet private group. You're more than welcome to join if you have a profile. There's a lot of scamming going around in the crochet groups nowadays. You must be careful with the links bit and cut. Don't open those. They steal your identity and every information about you. Okay, so, and also thank you to the women that have been coming through to help other women in need of thread. We gratefully appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for some that are still considering, and I hope you do, please donate whatever you can. They really need thread, and they need to occupy their minds of the troubles of everyday life. So please do a good deed for them. It's not the amount, it's the gesture. So please help out. You could either give it to the super thanks right below the video. That's going directly into the YouTube account, and then they take 30% off whatever you're giving, or you can go into my PayPal account and in the description box below and donate from there. Please, also, I would like to mention, if you're watching a video, passing through, you like what you saw, please give a thumbs up. It's extremely important to have YouTube recognize the videos and circulate it in order for us to keep growing. And also, if you can share to bring more people into the channel and recognize the channel. Sharing is caring. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's get started. I want to mention that I use a 2.75 hook. It's 100% cotton thread most of the time, my thread. These are Portugal brands. I should have one somewhere around here. And these threads, they go by numbers. They don't go by name. Since there was a high request of ordering threads, I am taking orders for threads. So if you're interested, they're $12 a ball, and they're 100 grams. It's about 325 yards. This is coming from Europe, and it's including with shipping. But you must order at least 6 in order to cover the shipping costs, because it's literally impossible to ship out without having you guys pitch in for those 6 rolls for the thread. I earn nothing by it, okay? It's just basically a favor that I'm doing to you guys since it's such a high demand. These are 4 plies. They're a little bit thinner than Aunt Lydia number 3. And these have a shine to it. Aunt Lydia is more of a matte, which for doilies and centerpieces and things like that, I prefer to use Aunt Lydia and the white or off-white, and then mix these colors, and it's just perfect. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. And if you need to get a hold of me for either order patterns, because you can, if you see a video you like and you'd like to order that pattern, you can comment on there or through my email. Just make sure you send me the picture so I'll know what you're talking about, or through message on my Facebook group or Instagram or TikTok. All the information is below in the description box, so you have many ways of getting hold of me. Okay, so we'll start from here now. Thank you. Okay, my dear friends, so today I'm going to recreate a pineapple runner that I had created almost at the beginning when I started my channel. It's probably one of the most viewed and created pieces out of my channel. I think there's almost 24,000 people that have pretty much created that piece. I also had many comments, positive comments, and a few so-and-so, which I don't blame them. For the comments that are not so strongly positively, I can't blame the people for it, because I didn't know so much of the crochet codes. Also, the video app I used at that time was very poorly. I had no experience on recording and apps, had no knowledge of them. Also, the screen is very small and it's got like 2 layers. Didn't know how to operate that app to have full screen. It took me 3 years to figure that one out. Imagine that. So people absolutely love that pattern, but I could understand that they have a hard time seeing the stitch. My nails were extremely long on top of that. So yeah, there's a bunch of factors wrong with that video, but people still manage to pull through and create that pieces because they have sent me pictures through Instagram, and I actually did a video with some people that had created and did a video with their patterns that they created, that pineapple of mine, and where they're from and their name. So the video is up on creations by the viewers that follow my channel. So I'm going to recreate, because now that I've a little bit more experience with the recording, and now that it's a full screen and my nails is not that long. By the way, people, for the newcomers that are here, thank you for being here. And I do apologize if my nails are a little bit sometimes too long. Sometimes it's a question of time for myself to take care of them. You know how it is. A mechanic never looks over his car, but everybody else's. So I'm a nail tech and a hairdresser. And by the way, as you can see, I have a little boo-boo bandage. Was cutting some hair today and then snipped my little piece of skin on my finger. No biggie, but it burns. You know what I'm saying? It's like a paper cut, right? The tip of the scissor. So for that reason, my nails are, for the most part, long, because being a nail tech, you don't serve clients with your nails bitten or short or whatever the case may be. So I apologize for that, but it is what it is. You know, you got to take some positive with some negative. So I'm going to put the picture up. For most of you that already follow me for the longest time should remember that pineapple runner that I had created. It was in off-white and yellow, which the picture will be up on the corner. I'm going to create it just in the off-white, just to make sure that everybody sees the pattern clearly. A lot of you have created in white, which looked amazing. And like I said, it is on the creations by the viewers video. It's in my playlist, so there's quite a people that have created that pattern. So I'm going to recreate for the most part, because again, yesterday I received a comment that the video was very couldn't see well. My nails were too long. And truly, you know, I have to agree with them 100%. You know, when you're right, you're right. And at least they weren't as nasty as some people that sometimes write in and are really nasty. So I apologize, you know, for the people that have a hard time creating that piece. And some people I have helped in Instagram message create that piece, because some of them were difficult to see the stitch, so I helped them out. So we're going to redo that today. It might take 2 videos, because there's quite a bit of pineapples, and you have to work one side, then you have to work the other side of the pineapple. So it's a very long pineapple, but there's quite a few pineapples on there. Okay, so I'm going to use a 2.75 hook. By the way, so I remodeled my hook, that if you guys look, it's being like chewed. I guess so much pressure of crocheting that this rubber keeps fading, and I could almost see the metal of the hook inside. A little trick you can do, most of you, I'm sure, use these type of, you know, it's like a rubbery. What I use is nail polish. Okay, because I'm a nail tech, I have the oven, so it's fast for me. But if you know, you can just nail polish, let it dry, and it's perfect. And you won't have that issue of being having that rubber eaten all the time. I should have done this earlier. Now it looks, well, it gives me a nice little almost shoe look. I don't know, but anyway, just a little advice for you guys. If you're having the same issue, you can use nail polish, transparent or whatever color. I give it a little bit of bling bling, just like my nails, because I like bling bling, you know. And so a small one to tuck in loose ends, of course, and a pair of scissors. So we're going to get started. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I hope this one at least will come out which I'm sure it will, much better than the other video, even though it's the most seen and most created piece. Okay, so let's get started, everyone. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up, if possibly share. Sharing is caring, and I hug every single one of you. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, everyone, so the first thing I'm going to do is that magic circle. In case you cannot do the magic circle, depending upon your tension, do a 6 or an 8 chain. You have to leave a big, not huge, but a big circle. It cannot be tightened in, or you're going to have problems with your pattern. So I'm doing 1 chain. I'm coming back in and doing a single and 2 chain. This is always the beginning of my rows, my double crochet. Inside of this magic circle, I'm going to create 29 double crochets. With my single and 2 chain that equals a double crochet, I will have a total of 30 double crochets, including my very first one. So that's my total complete on row 1. Okay, 30 double crochets, including the first single and 2 chain. I've completed my 30 double crochet. That's included with the first one we did. I'm just going to close a bit, but I don't want it to be too tight. It's got to be enough space there, and it will work itself once we go up. So I'm going to close with a slip stitch on my second chain, because the first one I did was a single and 2 chain. Okay, so I'm just going to adjust it a little bit more here, just to make sure. Okay, so you got to have at least this much. Better turn my light on, or it's going to be too dark here. My lighting in this room is terrible. Okay, so on to row 2 now. So I'm going to leave that. It's a little bit too long, so I'll just cut it so it doesn't become in my way. But I'll leave it there until I need to adjust it. So now I'm going to come right back in. If you want, you can do a 3 chain. I like to start off my double crochet this way. Single and 2 chain. That equals my double crochet. I always start off like that. And 1 more for chain space in between each double crochet. So we did 30. We're going to do row 2, 30 also. Space of 1 chain on each one. So double crochet, 1 chain space. Next double crochet, 1 chain space. So we're working on each stitch, 1 double crochet and 1 chain space between them. So we'll have a total of 30 also. This is row 2. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've closed in with the slip stitch on my second chain. I'm going to come in this first space here, 1 chain, and do my single and my 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. I'm going to come back in and create a shell, but using 2 spaces here. Okay, so 3 double crochet, that's including with my single and 2 chain, 1 chain space coming into the next space and creating my 3 double crochet again. So I have 1 shell, but I'm using 2 space for it. 1 chain. I'm skipping the next space and going into the next one, creating that shell again using the 2 spaces. So 3 double crochet, 1 chain into the next one, and 3 more double crochet. So now I have 2 shells. We're going to create these shells this way all the way around, skipping 1 space. So we're skipping the next one, we're doing 1 chain. We're not working on this one, we're coming into the next one and creating those 3 double crochets again. 1 chain into the next space and create the 3 double crochets again. This is row 3, and I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I finished row 3. I'm going to close in with a slip stitch on my second chain. So I did the walk all the way to the center of my 1 chain. I did a single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. We're going to build shells now of 2 double crochet only. 2 chain space between the 2 double crochets. So this is my first shell. No chain space. I'm coming into the next space and creating those shells again. 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet in the same space. We're going to do that on each space of 1 chain. Okay, we're going to create those shells. Come directly, create your shell of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. We're going to do this all the way around the same way, all the way to the end. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so I finished row 4. I'm going to do the walk again. We're always doing the walk into the center of that 1 chain, and this row will be all of shells again. So I'm doing a single, 2 chains, coming in, doing another double crochet, 2 chain space. By the way, I have 20 shells on my 3rd row. 2 double crochets. We're going to go directly into the next shell and create these shells. So where we have the shells, we'll be creating shells of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 2 double crochet again. So we're just repeating the row, creating shell inside of each shell. No chain space in between them. We go directly into the next shell. So this is row 5. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, I closed row 5 with a slip stitch. I want to remind you that my 4-ply is a little bit thinner than Aunt Lydia, number 3. If you use the Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton thread, it will be a bigger piece. It could be for 6 to 8 table cedar. You might want to use, if you want it smaller, number 10 Aunt Lydia. Okay? And always look ahead of the video in case there's a mistake, we can fix it without taking down. Okay, so I'm doing the walk into the middle again with a single, 2 chain. This time we're going to create shells. This whole row will be shells again, but of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Okay, so now it's shells of 3 double crochet. No chain space. Go directly into the next shell, create your 3 double crochets and your 2 chain. And my neighbors are having music, so if you hear any music on the background, it's coming from the neighbors. So YouTube, I'm not responsible for that music, because YouTube can be very funny about the music sometimes, and we have nothing to do with it. Can't control the neighbor's radio or whatever. Okay, so just continue to do your shells. 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. We're going to do this all the way around the same way. I'll meet you at the end. This is row 6. Okay, everyone, so I've closed in row 6 and did the walk to the center. Now it's going to change a bit. We're going to start doing chains in between the shells. Now, I'm not going to keep recording the whole thing. Let's ignore now that we counted up to row 6, okay? Let's say this is row 1 again. Never mind row 6, we've completed that. Let's say we're starting row 1 from here. So row 1, again, we're doing the shells of the 3 double crochets, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets. 1 chain space. This row 1 has 1 chain space. The next row, which is row 2, because we've ignored already those 6 rows, okay? Never mind, we're starting row 1 now, okay? 1 chain. Row 2, 2 chain. Row 3, 3 chain. Row 4, 4 chain. And row 5, 5 chain. So we have 5 more rows to do of shells. This row 1, 1 chain. Next row is row 2, 2 chain. The other row, 3 chain. The fourth row, 4 chain, and the fifth row, 5 chain. I'm going to continue to do mine until the 5th row with 5 chain space in between the shells. So I'll meet you at the end of row 5. This is row 1, 1 chain space. So very easy to remember. One chain, okay, and create your shell. So we've started here counting as row 1. There's 1 chain space between shells. The shells, they stay the same with 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. So row 2 will have 2 chain. Row 3, 3 chain space between the shells. Row 4, 4 chain space between the shells. Row 5, 5 chain space between the shells. I'll meet you at the end of row 5, okay? Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished my 5th row, counting from the one we started with 1 chain. 1 chain, the first row, 2 chain, the second row, 3 chain, the third row, 4 chain, the fourth row, and 5 chain, the 5th row. So we have 20 shells as usual. Now that's going to change up a bit. Row 6, because we started that new count. So this row 6, we're going to come in the center of that 1 chain and do our normal shell. 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. We're going to do a 4 chain, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to come in the center of the next one. Now in here we're going to do 11 double crochets. This is going to be the foundation of our pineapple. So we're going to do 11 double crochets total in here. I've done my 11 double crochets, chain 4. It's always going to be chain 4 all the way around in this row. 3, 4. We're going to do the normal shell again. So 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Chain 4, and in the next one we're going to do the 11 double crochets again. So this whole row will be 11 double crochets, next space a shell, 4 chain, 11 double crochets, next space the shell, right? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Chain 4. And into the next one with normal shell. So 1 shell, chain 4, 11 double crochets, chain 4, normal shell, chain 4, 11 double crochets. So we're always doing shell 11, shell 11, shell 11 all the way around with chain 4 in between them. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I finished my row 6 with 11 double crochets, 4 chain, shell, 4 chain, 11 double crochets, 4 chain, shell. Going to row 7. So we're doing the walk again. Where we have the shells, we keep it as shell. So single, 2 chain, 2 double crochet. So we have the 3 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 3 more double crochet. Chain 3. We're coming on top of the first double crochet on the 11 double crochets with double crochet, 1 chain space into the next one, double crochet, 1 chain into the next one, double crochet, 1 chain into the next one. So we're going to do that to all 11, and then 3 chain again and shell. This whole row will be repeatedly like this. 1 chain, double crochet, 1 chain. So it's just a repeat now. So you should still have your 11 double crochets here with 1 chain space between them. Chain 3. Create your shell again. So we're going to repeat this all the way around the same way on this row 7. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so finished row 7, closed in with a slip stitch, did the walk with a slip stitch, created my shell, the shell stays the same, chain 3, this is row 8, now we're going to work inside of each space here where we have the 1 chain on the pineapple, single, 1, 2, 3, so we're making those pineapple loops, single, 1, 2, 3, chain, single, 1, 2, 3, chain, single. So 1 per space. So I've done 9 loops of 3 chain on each space. Chain 3 and create your shell again. We're going to repeat this all the way around the same way. 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. The neighbor's dogs are going crazy. There's never a dull moment in this place. Okay, so very simple. This is row 8. I'll meet you at the end. Okay everyone, so we finished doing row 8, going into row 9. So I closed in with slip stitch, did the walk with slip stitch, created my shell, chain 3, and going into the first loop of the pineapple with single, chain 3. So it's just a repeat now. We are decreasing on the pineapple loops. So you're supposed to have 8 loops on this row 9. Yes, row 9. Just want to make sure because sometimes I get myself mixed up with rows. Okay, so very simple. And this row will be repeatedly the same way. So 8 loops on the pineapples, 3 chain, single, and then 3 chain and do your shell. Of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. Next row is going to change a bit, row 10. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, finished row 9, going to row 10. Going to do the walk. It's going to change this row, okay? So you need to pay attention. I'm going inside of my shell, create my single, my 2 chain, that equals 1 double crochet. We're going to create 4 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 more double crochet, 2 chain, 2 more double crochet, 2 chain, and the last group of 2 double crochet. So in this shell we have 4 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, chain 3, and create our pineapple loops. Chain 3, single. So I'm going to complete until here and then come back to you on it. I've completed my 7 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 3 chain, chain 3, and we're going to create those 4 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and my last 2 double crochet. So now we have 4 groups of 2 double crochet here and 4 groups of 2 double crochet here. It's going to change again, so we're going to continue to do the 3 chain and continue to do your loops of 3 chain, and I'll meet you here. Finished creating my loops of 3 chain on the pineapple, chain 3. Now this shell here is going to be 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, 2 more double crochet, 2 chain, and the last 2 groups. So it's different than the other one. The other one we created 4 and 4. This one is 3. We are going to create the same thing, the same 3 groups on the next shell and the shell after that, okay? So we're going to work, like I said, 1, 2, and 3 groups of 3, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 double crochet. So only 3 groups of 2 double crochet on the next 2 shells, okay? So we'll have 3 shells with these 3 groups, and I'll meet you at the end of the 3rd shell, okay? So everything else stays the same. Chain 3, and then just continue to do your pineapples. Just remembering that you have to do is the next 2 shells with 3 groups of 2 double crochet and 2 chain space between them, and I'll meet you at the 3rd one. Okay, everyone, so I have my first group, or my first shell of the 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain. So that's my first, my second on the other shell right after, and my 3rd. So now I'm going to continue to do my pineapple, and I'll meet you here, and the next shell will be exactly the same thing as the 2 that we started with, the 4 groups, okay? Okay, so I've completed my pineapple. After doing my 3 groups, I'm going to do my 4 groups again of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, two chain again. So it's the 4 groups exactly like we did at the beginning of this row. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 3, continue your pineapple on your chain 3s and single, and we're going to create the 4 groups exactly like here on the next shell. And I'll meet you once I finish my 4 groups, okay? Okay, so I finished my 4 groups. Now, if you realize, right across from it is where we started with the 4 groups also. So your pineapples are going to go like this on this side. That's why you're going to work one side and then you have to work the other side. And here we'll stay just free of one row of pineapples. So that means 1 pineapple. But here we're going to create, I can't remember, I think it's 5 more. So it goes like 3, 2, or 3, 2, 1, something like that. Okay, so basically, right across from it, you're at this point, you should have also your 4 groups right across from those ones. And of course we have 3 shells left, which we are going to do the 3 groups only on the next shells. So I'll meet you at the end of the shells, because now it's groups of 3 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, exactly how we did here. And that's what's left, 3 shells. So we have to complete that exactly like we did on this side. Okay, so I'll meet you there. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished doing my other shells with the 3 groups of 2 double crochet, exactly like we had done on the other side. So that's my second and this is my third. Now we come in to where we have the 4 groups, obviously after doing our pineapple. I'm just going to stretch this for now, and we're going to put markers, okay, because we're not working on these right now. We have to work the pineapples on the sides before we can continue with the front pineapples, okay? So where we have the 4 groups of 2, I'm going to put a marker. In case you don't have, you can put a piece of thread of a different color. So I'm going to put a marker on my first group, and also the 3 group before on the first loop of 2 chain, okay? So the last group that we did of 3, we're doing the closest to the pineapple, which is this first loop, not this one, okay? And then we're doing the 4 groups of 2, and then the next 4 groups of 2, and the closest where we have the 3 groups on this side, we're also going to put a marker on the closest, the one on the right side, closest to the pineapple, the right side for people that are right side, because I usually put videos for left-handed too. Okay, so we have 4 markers. We have the one on the last 3 group, on the 4 group, the 4 group, and the first one here on the 3 group. And you have to do exactly the same thing on this side. So these are the 4 groups, and this is the closest to the 4 groups. Okay, the loops of the 3 groups on both sides, the closest on the chain, the 2 chain that we did. Okay, so just so you get it right, because this is where we will be working on each end, okay, this end and then the other end. So, but we have to complete these pineapples here. We have 2 pineapples here that we have to do, and we have 2 pineapples on the other side that we have to do. Okay, so make sure that you have the proper marker on the right loops. So this loop closest to the pineapple of 3, that's the last 3 that we did. The 4 group, and then the 3 group, the closest to the pineapple, going towards the middle there of the 4 groups. Okay, you guys, so we've closed in with the slip stitch. Now I'm going to cut my thread because we need to work the other pineapples before we can continue. And I'm going to secure my thread, of course, because we're not working on the length. We're going to work on the sides, okay? So now I'm going to turn my pattern to where we did not mark. Okay, so we have this one that we're not working on because that's part of the length. We're going to work on this one here, okay? And we're going to work on the middle one here until here. So these are the 2 pineapples we're going to work, going back and forth, not all the way to the top, back and forth, until we complete and close them out. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side, okay? So we're going to start on this one here, right after the last marker that we just did. Okay, so I'm going to grab my thread again. So I'm going to do my slip stitch knot, and I'm going to start to work. Oh my goodness, my wires, everything is like stuck here in my thread. Good heavens, thread all over the place. Okay, so now we're going to work a back and forth. We have 2 pineapples we didn't mark, so we have to work one at a time, okay? So we're going to come in on the one that has no marker and do a single, or however you pin yours to start off your first double crochet. And I'm going to do a 2 chain. I'm going to make a shell of 3 double crochets. Okay, 2 chain and 3 more double crochets. Try to hide my thread here at the same time. Okay, chain 3, coming in, doing my pineapple. So we're going to work back and forth on these 2, each pineapple at a time. Okay, so I've done my 6 loops of 3 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chain 3. Nothing changes with the amount of stitch on the pineapples. I'm going to create my shell of 3 double crochet also, 2 chain and 3 more double crochet. Now we have to work back and forth to close this pineapple out, and then we'll work the next one and on the other side too. So I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do 1, 2 chain. I'm coming into the shell and create a shell. So until closing, it will be shells of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. So the shells will always be like this until the end. Okay, chain 3 and continue your loops of 3 chain. Now this is just going to be a repeat all the way to the end to close out this pineapple. So very simple, nothing to it. Oh my goodness, I got like thread knots, you name it, because I try to pull as much thread out. So into the next one. 1, 2, 3. So it's just going to be a repeat now. Shell again of 3 double crochet, two chain, and 3 more double crochet. Okay, so we're going to close this pineapple out. We're going to turn around so it's always turning it back and forth. 1, 2 chain. If your tension is too tight, you can do a 3 chain. Okay, so I'm going to continue mine because now it's just a repeat of the shells until we have 1 loop left, and then I'll meet you there. Okay, well, we'll do that 1 loop. I'll meet you right after we finish doing that 1 loop. Okay. Okay, everyone. So I've done my back and forth until 1 loop left. I've done my 2 chains. I've turned around, done my 2 chains. I'm going to create my shell. Now, everybody has different tension on your stitch, so depending if you're too loose or too tight. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain, and I'm coming in the center. If your chain is extremely tight, you can do 4, 3 chain again, and do your shell. I'm going to turn around. We're just about to close this pineapple out. Chain 2. We're gonna do incomplete. So 1 and 2. We're not closing it out, okay? We're going to close it all together once we come into the next shell. So again, half double crochet, another half double crochet. Where we have that chain, I'm going to come in and do exactly the same thing as we'd have the 2 chain on the other side. Now we're going to close it all out. Okay, close it in with a slip stitch, cut your thread. I'm going to do another slip stitch through it so it does not come apart. Then I'll tuck in at the end my loose ends. So we have the first pineapple done. Gotta make sure that we go into the right side to start the next pineapple, which will be exactly the same thing as we created on here. We're going to start on this one that has no marker and work our way back and forth exactly how we did with the other one. So I'm going to give it a start. Okay, so now I'm going to come in on the next one where I have no marker. We just finished this pineapple. So I'm going to come in again with a single, and 2 chain. Create my shell of 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochet. And you have to do exactly the same thing on the other side where it's not marked. Chain 3 and proceed the same way. Chain 3. Okay, everyone, so I just finished creating my shell, my 3 chain loops for the pineapple, 3 chain my shell, and chain 2, exactly how we did the other one. And then work again back and forth until you close it out, remembering that you have to do the 2 pineapples on the other side of the pattern where we did not mark. So we're working on these two now, and you must come and work where we didn't mark it here. So you'd start back and forth, and then the next one back and forth. I'm going to complete mine and then come back to you so we can start the length. Okay everyone, so as you can see, I finished my 2 on this end and I finished my 2 on this end. Now we're going to get ready to start the length of the pattern. Okay, so all 4 is complete. Okay you guys, so we just finished doing, I just finished doing this one. So we're going to take out the marker because we're going to work on it on all 3 pineapples. So we don't need the marker anymore. And we're going to be working back and forth in all 3 pineapples. Just going to tuck in my loose end here not to get confused. Okay, so we finished the pineapple, and now this is where we had the markers. And I'm coming in and doing my shell of 3 double crochets. And whatever we're doing on this side, you will have to do on the other side exactly the same thing. I'm not going to do a tutorial on the other side because all you have to do is just rewind the video and have the same thing done on the other side. So we did the shell, chain 3, and continue the pineapple. So I'll meet you here where we have the 4 groups. I've done my 3 chain and we have the 4 groups of 2 double crochet. I'm going to come in the first one and I'm going to do a shell of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. Oops. We go directly into the next one and create a shell again of 2 double crochets and 2 chain, 2 double crochets again. Into the next one, 2 double crochets, 2 chain, and 2 more. So now we have a group of 3 shells. This is where the 4 groups of the 2 shells from the previous row. Chain 3, continue your pineapple. So we are going to do exactly the same thing, these 3 groups on the next shell that has the 4. And then the one that has the last one is just a normal shell of 3 chain, exactly 3 double crochet, exactly how we're starting. Okay, but I'll meet you on the next shell. So where we have the 4, so we started with normal shell of 3 double crochet. Where we have the 4 groups, 3 groups of shell of 2 double crochet. The chains, they stay the same, 3 chains. I'll meet you at the next shell. Okay everyone, so now we're going to repeat exactly the same thing as we did here. We're going to do the 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space. So my 2 double crochet, my 2 chain, come back in, do your shell of 2 double crochet. Into the next one, the same thing. into the next one and repeat the shell. Continue to do your pineapple the same way, 3 chain. And we started with the normal 3 double crochet shell. That's what we're going to do here on the last one. Okay everyone, so I pretty much completed my normal shell at the end. We're going to go up 2 chain, turn around, and create a normal shell with 3 double crochets. And then do your pineapple, and we'll meet here. Okay, so I'm in the 3 group shell. We're going to do normal shell of 3 double crochets. So 3 double crochets this time, 2 chain, and 3 more double crochets. So normal regular shell. Okay, 1 chain and shell here, 1 chain again, and shell there. So it's 3 shells with 1 chain space between them. 3 double crochet, 2 chain, and 3 double crochet. One chain, and again repeat your shell. Do your pineapple, the 3 chain, and here we're going to repeat the same thing as we just done here, and then your pineapple and your normal shell. Go up 2 chain, do your normal shell again, come back, and then I'll meet you here on the other side, because now it's just a repeat here on this one, and the normal shell at the end here. So very simple. I'll meet you on the other side, going up 2 chain, do your normal shell, do your pineapple, and I'll meet you here at the groups on the other side.